Yep. I'm recording right now and then you'll get it clouded. So it'll be all set. Yay.
All right, cool.
Yay. All right. You ready?
I am ready.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one sec. Let me just, I'll pin it and people watch on the replay. Like somebody just commented on one of my videos from like 6 months ago. Isn't that funny?
That's funny.
We'll share it I'll share it on my event and okay, cool. Yeah, that's why I have it. That's why I have in my group and I keep them because then people can continue to watch them and like binge watch the content. That's really why I have it. So if and when they're ready. Okay. Let's get going. Ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Yay, Stephanie. How do I pronounce your last name, by the way?
Mojica.
Mojica. Okay. Wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. I'm pressing record. It'll take me a second here.
All right.
Just, hold on a second. It takes a minute to just get on here, but all the tech.
I know.
That's just how it goes. It's okay though.
I wound up lowering the price of switching to ad budgets to make it look like audiences a higher budget because a lot more people are looking at them. Oh, word live stream.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's starting. Hold on one sec. Should be live. Yeah, we can talk about that too. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. It is Tammy P, Facebook ads and marketing expert. And today I have with me live Stephanie Mojica. And I'm super excited to have her on as a guest interview today. She's a client of mine, and also we're doing some fun things together. So we'll be talking about that. And today's topic is all about visibility. So I love talking about visibility. Like it's probably one of my favorite topics. And I love it for many reasons. So we're going to go into some of that today. But we're going to talk about how to be like an authority and visibility. And we're going to talk about all the different ways in which we can be visible in our business. And Stephanie's got some super fun ideas. And I always have some super fun ideas about being visible. So that's what we're going to break down today that I'm super excited about. So before we get started on this topic of visibility for your brand and business, I want to allow Stephanie here to introduce herself because she's an amazing human, as are all the women that I work with. So Stephanie, introduce yourself and tell us a little about you and your business and what you do.
All right, so thank you so much, Tammy, for the warm welcome. So I'm Stephanie Mojica, and I'm a book development coach. I also wear a couple other book-related hats. And basically, what does that mean? I help coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, and other experts increase their visibility, credibility, and market reach through writing and publishing a book. So obviously, I'm a little biased. I think that's one of the best ways to build visibility and authority. But there's also a lot of other visibility tips, even it applies to so many things once you publish that book, anything about general business. So I don't want everybody to think, oh, I just got to do one thing. It's like a combination of things. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a lot about visibility, and you've got your take on it and I've got my take on it. We both have our take. I want to pause for a minute because I see a couple of people on. So let me know as you join where you're from. Tell me where you're from. I'm from Michigan. And Stephanie, I love asking this question about where you're from. Tell everybody in the audience where you're from.
So I'm from the United States originally. Home is Los Angeles, but I currently live in Suriname, a very tiny country in South America. So I'm a digital nomad. That's probably going to be changing in January, probably be going back to Los Angeles, but yes. And I think that's a great thing about online visibility, especially because you can do business from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, so I love this. And this is probably one of my favorite things about connecting in the online space and meeting and working with so many women all across the globe is that we can literally all get together and it doesn't matter where we are, right? So you live in like when I heard where you're living, I was like, oh, that's super fun. So anyway, anybody who's on live or on the replay, let us know where you're from. Where in the world are you from? I am personally from Michigan myself. All right. So let's go back on visibility because I want to unpack for a minute, like actually, I kind of want to go back and forth between like you and I and what I have been doing to be visible in my world, and then like what you have been doing. So let's just like start there.
Yeah.
For me, the number one thing, and by the way, I do get excited about this topic. I need to bring it on more often about visibility and authority. The number one thing for me was actually exactly what we're doing right now. It's me going live. So the number one thing that I did when I was stepping into my business in the online space is I started going live. And I know for a lot of people, let me know, tell me in the chat below if you are scared to go live or love to go live. So put a put a 1 if you're scared and put a 2 if you love to go live. Because I will tell you guys that when I started going live, when I started getting more visible in my business, I was super scared to go live. Super. Like I was always one of these people that were behind the scenes. I was always helping my clients. And I never put myself out there in the spotlight. And so when I started going live, I was scared. But what happened when I kept going live and I became more consistent about going live, just like you and I are today, is that over time, I started to get better at it. So for anyone who's listening either live or on the replay and may be scared about going live, may not want to go live, maybe have some fear around going live, I want to let you know that it does get easier as you go live more and more. You know, it just does. You get better at it. And so really it comes down to consistency, pushing yourself through a bit of the fear of going live and actually doing it, and then doing it more and more and more and getting better at it as you go. So do you have any thoughts or feelings around that, Stephanie, as far as going live? Because I know you work towards it as well, big time.
Yeah, it's definitely not my thing. I'll just be honest right up front. I have been doing it consistently recently, thanks to Tammy's encouragement, as well as the encouragement of, my main coach that I work with, who actually is how I found out about Tammy. But, it's nerve wracking. I mean, I'm a little nervous right now. I do better when it's like an interview, but like when it's talking to yourself, it feels like it can be crazy because at first, and I'm sure you experienced this too, Tammy, you don't necessarily have people coming on live with you.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Like it is a little weird when you go live just on your own. And I love doing interviews. Interviews are super fun because then it's like we can have a conversation, but also you've got ideas, I've got ideas, and you never know what's going to happen, which makes it super fun. One thing that I do talk about, and this is when I go live, I don't necessarily script it. Like I have an idea of what I want to talk about. Like today, I knew we wanted to talk about visibility for many various reasons here, but I don't necessarily script it. And I think the more you script, the more you like have exactly, oh, this is exactly what I want to say. I think it actually feels less natural. So if you are scared, like one hot tip I'm going to give right now is if you're scared to go live, one thing that you could do is just write down kind of like your topic that you want to talk about, and then write 3 bullet points. I like to do 3 bullet points of the different things that you want to make sure you focus on. So not scripting out and writing out the whole thing, but giving, having kind of like like an outline, right? An outline of what you want to talk about without completely writing it out. So that was one thing that I always did. And when I was a little bit more nervous about going live, I'd think about, okay, I want to talk about visibility and authority today. And then under that, I want to talk about these 3 things. So moving along here, I want to talk about next what visibility means to you, Stephanie, because you and I have different things. So for me, going live was pivotal in my business. Getting better at going live was pivotal in my business because I could connect with people so easily. And it was just fun to have conversation and going live and also share my expertise and share my knowledge. Now, I know for you, and this is why you're coming on today, is you have a little bit of a different thing you're doing right now for visibility in your business. And this is going to make a bigger impact in your business faster with what you're doing. And this is like, it's intense. So let's talk about and let's break it down, Stephanie, because this is why you're on today. tell me what it is you're doing right now to massively increase the visibility in your business.
So I'm actually putting on a virtual summit. It's called the Visible Authority Virtual Event, and Tammy is one of my speakers. And yeah, it's a huge undertaking. And I think most people who are listening are probably familiar with summits. That's going to be 3 days of speakers. I've got 32. And yeah, it's just we're going to be talking about everything. Like Tammy will be talking about Facebook ads. I'll be talking about writing books. And then we have everything in between, like Pinterest and TikTok and challenges and summits. So yeah, I would definitely say that has been a very big, leap for me, so to speak. I was a journalist for 17 years. Interviewing people is pretty cool, but some of the technology and, getting the lighting perfect and getting everything perfect and, it can be challenging.
But yeah, for years, by the way, I've worked at my lighting for years. For years, I've worked on lighting, by the way, Stephanie. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
So talk about, for those that don't know, does everybody know what a summit is? Like, it's because to me, a summit, and tell me if it's different for you, but a summit is just is a whole bunch of interviews. Like you'll have like a topic that you pick for your summit, but then you put together a whole list and collaborate with a whole list of influencers and people online, and you interview them and you turn that into a package called a summit, right? So for people that like the idea of interviewing, it doesn't have to be live, by the way. It could just be interviews that you do in Zoom and then you like kind of launch them over time. But am I getting that right, Stephanie? That's what I think of a summit as.
That's pretty much close to it. I am doing a couple of different things. So if you recall, for my summit, we had a part that was a presentation where you literally like taught something for 20 to 30 minutes with slides. And I did that, I have a team behind me because we really wanted to make sure people had some action steps they could walk away with right away. And then the other part was an interview. So yes, they're pre-recorded. They're going to be released, like we have a day 1 schedule, a day 2 schedule, a day 3 schedule. So like about 10, 11 will be released each day. It's free, but if you don't want to upgrade, you have to watch everything you want to watch within 24 hours, which can be a challenge, but it's possible. And yeah, we're also going to be doing some live panels during the summit, which is October 25th through 27th. So basically the speakers can engage. We'll do it on Zoom, streaming into various Facebook groups. The VIP people and the audience members can interact. So we're doing kind of, I guess, a combination.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I like the combination of putting in the live with it because that adds some excitement there too. I think always when we add live video to what we're doing, it gets amazing. People just love live. So you have, how many different industry experts do you have? It was like 30 or so?
It's 32. So besides myself, 32 handpicked experts. I was very careful about who I picked. And yeah, originally we're gonna have a few more, but you know how things go. But yeah, generally a summit, you want I've heard of people doing with 10, 15, but generally I think the rule is to have 20 to 30.
Okay. So rule for anybody who's thinking about a summit and using a summit in their business in order to gain visibility, 10 to 20, is that what you say? So 30 is kind of like a max.
Well, 20 to, I would say 20, 30. It depends on your goals. Like, right. Somebody I've worked with a lot, who's a consultant of mine, also refers business to me. She's having one around vegan visibility and she's having 10, but hers is very niched down. And she's doing it. I mean, she does have plenty of visibility. She's doing it for, a combination of reasons. So she doesn't necessarily want to I'm sure she wants to, I don't want to speak for her, but it's like not just a list build. And, for me, it's not just that either, but I will be honest, that was a goal.
Yeah. So summits not only are great for visibility, they're great for establishing yourself as the expert in your industry, but they're also great for list building. So which we're not super focusing on today, but with list building, the people that are in your summit. So if you have like 20, 30 people that are guest experts, they're all emailing out to their people, to their list of various sizes. So, and then somebody would register for the summit. And so then that would help the person who is the guest expert, the person that's running the summit, that will help grow that person's email list. So there's many, many different things. I will tell you, for all the people, and also hearing from you, Stephanie, with the summit, it's a great way to just kind of like, I don't know, just like almost like explode. It's like a catalyst for your business, is doing these summits. And they are super intense. So I know you and I were talking about that. So tell us a little bit about, like, if for anyone that is listening, that is thinking about doing a summit for their business, like, what are a couple pros and maybe a couple cons of doing the summit, if you're thinking about taking this on as an endeavor in your business?
Well, I want to preface this by saying it would be possible on my team. I have a few people working with me on it, but there are, people who do it on their own. I don't know how they do it, but okay. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time finding the experts. I already had a fairly decent sized network. So some of the people are just people I already knew, because I've been very active on Clubhouse and podcasting, and have been, in various spaces for 24 years.
Sure.
So I was able to find a decent number of experts from my own network. Posting in Facebook groups, looking for folks, had to do that a few times. Screening applications, doing a screening call if I didn't already know them. There's a lot of herding involved,
Yeah.
HERDING, just to make sure, you have everybody's pieces of the puzzle. And as somebody who's been in several summits, I will say the benefit of being in a summit is that you also get to grow your list, and you get more visibility and exposure. Like, I was in one this summer with Kate Doster, which I'm sure some folks know. And I got, I think, 153 people on my list. And that didn't take me a ton of effort. I had a couple, I did some prep and did the interview with her and did some promotion. So there's advantages of both. Obviously, if you're the host of the summit, you're like seen as the authority. You're right. Like, I don't want to say queen, but it kind of is. And, I've already got some people who are interested in being clients, or a couple people have actually hired me from work from my summit speakers, or have referred business to me. And it can also be a great way, and I think this is what the person I was talking about earlier, who's doing a big visibility, to make a profit. So since this is my first summit, I'm looking to break even on my expenses, and I'll explain how this works. So most summits, not all, but most, are free. You sign up for free, you get things for free. The videos are released for 24 hours. There's usually free contests and games and things like that. But there are usually VIP upgrade offers available. Mine has 2 tiers of it, and they're fairly reasonably priced. One level is you get all the recordings permanently. You get a session with me if you want to pick my brain, etc. And then there's the second level, where you're getting all sorts of other bonuses from the experts who want to participate. So some people make 10, 20, 30, I've even heard of $60,000 in upgrades. And those are usually the people who have the bigger lists already, who have already done these multiple times. And then, people like me who have a following, but don't necessarily have the hugest email list in the world, strive to break even. Oh, I would love to make a profit, but I don't want to, give people unrealistic expectations who might be thinking about doing.
Sure. And then with planning, if anybody's thinking about the summit and doing a summit idea as a way to establish yourself as a visibility and authority in the online space, I think that's the biggest thing that comes from it, because you're the one, like Stephanie, you're the one leading the summit. Like, this is your thing. You're leading the summit. And so you're stepping into authority and visibility just by leading the summit. How much, if this is something, if this is of interest to you, anybody who's either live or on the replay, how much time do you need to plan something like this out? Like, if I was thinking about running a summit, let's say in January, and now it's October, is that enough time to really pull that off? Because it sounds like there is quite a lot of things that you have to do from a planning perspective when it comes to summit.
Well, that's an excellent question. And, my team, as well as another expert on the summit,
Yeah.
do discuss that. They say 3 to 6 months. 3 is kind of pushing it, I think, from what I understand. I started my planning in early June.
Okay.
So, yeah. But, I think you could do it in a shorter amount of time. It just depends on your
Okay.
goals, your time, etc. They say it's roughly an hour a day of work, but I'll be honest with you, some days it's a lot more than others, especially when you're doing interviews and the promo. But a good guideline is about an hour a day of work.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. And I know that there's a lot of benefits to it. I know that there's a lot of people that have done summits. I can't believe I still have never done it, but I have participated in a lot of summits. So that's why I brought Stephanie on today. I am one of the people that Stephanie asked me to interview to talk about Facebook ads, of course. And so I will be one of the industry experts inside of Stephanie's summit that's coming up. So if anyone is interested in the summit, in signing up and registering for the summit, which is, happening, we're all talking about it right now. She's actively promoting it. Drop the comment summit below. So drop the comment summit if you want to get access to Stephanie's awesome summit, Visibility and Authority Summit, that's coming up very soon, right? And so you're unrolling it now, like everybody's talking about it now, right? What else do we need to know about your summit?
I will just tell you, like I said, I've been around, writing, publishing, marketing spaces for 24 plus years. I learned so much from so many of my experts in the summit. And there's information I'm applying right away. So I think, no matter what level you are in your business, if you're like, coach, consultant, course creator, even something semi-related, such as just general online business, I think you'll really benefit and it's not like a bunch of sales pitches either. I was very careful to make sure that that was not part of the summit. We do the presentation interview and then they offer a free gift to you. But we never did it like, pushy, slimy. I hate like when people, you've been to those events, Tammy, where all they do, live or online, all they do is buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And it's not like that at all. It's going to really, I honestly can't believe the value we're giving away for free.
That's it. And I mean, just the fact that you said you interviewed all of these experts and that you got so much out of it. You were the one that interviewed and that you were able to learn and apply some of this knowledge to your business. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
I was, some things on Instagram, for example, improved my TikTok a little bit. Early next year, I haven't decided if I want to do a TikTok coaching program once, I'm going to be I'm going to be moving, but yeah, or if I want to do a quiz funnel, because I played around a little bit of quizzes and polls after interviewing Helen Munchie, who's one of our experts, and she was talking about, quizzes. And just by putting like a poll on Instagram and a poll on Facebook stories, I found a few like people who I didn't even realize were interested in writing a book that I'm going to reach out to for the group program I'm launching later this, actually this month. So yeah, it's just like, it's amazing, like the things you can learn.
Oh yeah, I know all about quizzes. I was already talking about quizzes today, but quizzes are great also, which is not what we're talking about today, but quizzes are also great for lead gen too.
Exactly.
Really for lead gen. Yeah. So anything else? So drop the comment summit below. Anybody live or on the replay listening to this, drop the word summit below in the comments if you are interested in signing up for Stephanie's summit. I am a speaker on the summit. I did a new training and actually I recorded it with Stephanie. So it's a fresh training, all about my $5 a day ad system, which with everything that I teach and talk about, I'm always refining it. I'm always talking about it a little differently because as everybody knows, things are always changing with Facebook and Instagram. And so we need to keep up with the trends. And so when I recorded this training with Stephanie not too long ago, I think a couple weeks ago, this is a brand new training and it's going to be part of Stephanie's summit. So if you guys are interested in my training and learning from other subject matter experts on visibility and authority, drop the comment summit and we will definitely get you the information. Okay. So anything else you want to add? And then I will pause just so for anybody, I don't know if anybody's still live, but if you have any questions for either myself on Facebook ads or marketing, or for Stephanie on Summit, visibility, drop those comments below. Let us know if you have any questions. Whenever I go live, I always talk about this, but whenever I go live, and it's usually every week at least, I do a Q&A. So I'm one of these people, just like Stephanie, that's generous with sharing my knowledge. Just like Stephanie putting together the summit is extremely generous with packaging this up for you guys. And so if you have any questions for either one of us, leave a comment and we will definitely get to it as well. And we'll do a Q&A. So any other things, Stephanie, before I check the comments?
Yeah, I wanted to say that this summit definitely has something for everybody. There's people like me who don't like to go live, and there's a lot. I deliberately made sure we picked experts who would address things like Clubhouse, where you don't have to use video, blogging, quizzes, so Pinterest, Twitter, etc. So it's not all about video. This is like, and it's not all about books. Actually, I'm the only person talking about books. So if video or books sounds daunting, there's plenty of other stuff. So there really is something for everybody.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because it is, we are all creating the businesses that we want, that we dream of. And so we get to decide all the things that we want to do and how we want to market it all the time. Right. So I just, of course, always talk about live because I love live. And I also come from a place when I talk about live from a place of like, I wasn't always comfortable with it. So that's why I like to bring it up, because I know how powerful it is as a tool with connecting with your audience. So yes, to Stephanie's point, you don't always have to go live. There's so many other ways we can do it. Whether it's a summit, it's a quiz, it's a blog, it's fill in the blank. This summit has it all. So I am going to pause for a quick second here. I'm going to have a sip of my water. If there's any questions coming in about the summit, any questions for Stephanie, any questions for me, drop them in the comments and we will definitely get to them. And then otherwise, I think that will be it for the day, unless I'm missing anything, Steph.
No, I will say I
work with you for sure.
Yeah, I did go live immediately after we recorded our session. Yeah, I remember I sent that message. So like I said, I learn, get inspired by everybody. So
yeah, and it's great. I love when people send me those messages when I speak with someone or coach with someone and they're like, oh, I went live. I love it. I love it. It makes me so happy. So that's amazing. Awesome. All right. So I do see a couple comments on here. Let me see. We've got Leah on, we've got Joanne, we've got Kathy's on. And Carolyn, I think, was on earlier. I don't know if I'm missing anybody. If I am, sorry. So I do see some question. I do see a question coming in. Let me see here. I'm going to read it aloud. This is how I do it anyway, Stephanie. Joanne asked a question, which is, she has a question on the summit. How do you know what sort of budget you need to host a summit? Oh, that's a really good question. That is a great. And so Joanne says she wants to create a summit next year. And she's found this very, very useful. So thank you, Stephanie, for sharing all about the summit today. She's finding this quite useful. Great. Joanne wants to know again, how do you know what sort of budget you need to host a summit? So go ahead, Stephanie, excellent. That's all you.
So if you're not going to hire a team, I would say the expenses are fairly minimal. Like I'm assuming, I don't know. So you obviously need an email list provider. I don't want to assume that the person asked the question has it. So you need something like ActiveCampaign. You need something like Kajabi or ClickFunnels. So you need basic things like that. So, and there's a lot of free tools we're using, like Asana for like the project management, and or Asana, I never know how they say it, or YouTube playlists and Facebook groups. So the graphics Actually, I got my graphics fairly cheap. I don't want to name prices because I don't want to offend anybody, who had done work, but you can get graphic designers for very low rates, especially if you go to Fiverr and sites like that. And the person who is doing my project management was able to find somebody for me. She had worked before. But yeah, you're going to need to have some expert graphics. But if you already know how to use something like Canva, I know a lot of people love using Canva. I do not. I just outsource all that kind of stuff to other people. I'm weird. I'm fine with Photoshop because I've worked for newspapers for 17 years. So I'm used to Photoshop, but Canva, every time I go in there, I want to scream. So I just turn that over. Okay. But if you already know how to use something like Canva, then you don't need to pay for graphics. And, you don't pay the speakers to be in the summit. If you want to have affiliate commissions, because that is something that really will inspire your speakers to promote. And the affiliate commissions will be for the VIP upgrade that you offer. So you can use something like iDev Affiliate. That's what I'm using. I think it's like $29 a month. But again, you might already have an existing affiliate program. I don't know. So it's like some basic tools that most businesses might already have in place. And then it's like anything else. If you need to hire a team, then that's going to the range is going to vary widely. I met the people who are on my team in another summit I was in earlier this year, and I was really impressed with how they were running it. So I did hire them, but I know people who have hired others for less. I just wanted the best, and I was at the point where I felt I could make that investment, because I know Tammy talks about this a lot. You have to think about the cost per lead, etc.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you can do the summit as far as the cost for minimal with some software, something like an email service provider, like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit, something like that. Right. So it has to have some automation to it, right? With the email service.
Oh, yes. Provider. Yes.
And then we need some kind of a landing page software to build out the pages, like a ClickFunnels.
But ConvertKit also has a landing page. I just wanted my stuff to be like the best of the best. So I don't want people to think, oh my God, I have to go invest and learn ClickFunnels.
Right, so right. Yeah.
You can do, it just depends on where you are, your available time and your comfort level with various tasks.
Well, and you could do it on your website too. You could put a page up on your website as well. So you got to have some kind of something to put the page up so that people can register for the summit.
Right.
And then also some kind of graphics. So the graphics are important because you need to communicate out the summit, get people to register for it, and they have all that. So doing something like a Canva, I don't, it's interesting. I didn't used to like Canva, but I've now embraced it because so many people use it. I was also kind of an Adobe, liked Adobe and Photoshop, but I've gotten used to Canva just because I know how much people like it, and it's such a user-friendly tool. So Canva for graphics. And then if you're going to take that next layer and make it a little bit more, and you want to do affiliate partnerships with your summit experts, and then you use something called, what is it? iDev Affiliate?
Yeah, iDev Affiliate is what I'm using. I know Kajabi has an affiliate program, but again, I wanted the best of the best, and iDev, I was told, was easier for my team. So that's what I did. And there's also and people can contact me if they want, but there's a couple of summit in a box online courses I've studied before that they were very, very inexpensive. I found them helpful, but I knew, as busy as I am in my life, I also edit books. I don't just coach people through writing them. And I also do publicity for some authors. So I'm extremely busy. And for me, at my stage, it didn't make sense for me to be doing so many tasks that I could outsource to others.
Right. So, and just to circle back to, I use affiliate. So for my affiliate program, I use something called Thrivecart. If anybody knows, I know Thrivecart's very popular. It's more of like a shopping cart platform. But Thrivecart has an affiliate built in, and I had just bought, I think about a year or two ago, I bought a lifetime access to it. So that's another one. Or if you are like Stephanie and me, we're busy with our clients, or have a business in which we cannot take on another project, and you don't want to DIY this, you can always bring in a team to help you actually execute the summit. But of course, then you have to pay your team. So that's another way to go. Or even contracting out and hiring, like if you're not a good designer, and you really just don't like doing graphics, go on a place like, a Fiverr or wherever, like it doesn't have to be Fiverr, but reaching out, there's so many different ways to connect with designers. I probably have a ton of designers in this group where you can just hire them to do bits and pieces of the project that you don't want to do yourself. So that's another option as well.
And same thing with the copywriting. Like I am an awesome writer. Like I've won awards for my writing. It's hard. I think I've talked to you about this before, Tammy. It's harder for me to write.
You never told me you won awards. Hello.
Yeah. Well, the second part, I think I told you it's easier for me to write about other people than myself. So I did choose to hire a copywriter to write the copy for my landing page and to pretty much write all the emails and stuff. But again, there's these summon in a box things. There's a lot of ways to make it like pretty easy on you. And two of our experts in the Visible Authority virtual event will be talking about summits. And I would vouch personally for each one of them if you did want to have a team.
And I'm going to just pause because you don't brag about yourself enough, Stephanie. So let's just brag about the fact that you won awards for your writing. And this is what you do for a living, is editing books and doing these sorts of things. So hello, Stephanie.
And I just didn't want to bother with it. And part of me felt a little ashamed about it, but you know what? I did. At the end of the day, I don't. It's like we need to focus on what we're good at.
Sure. I love that. So let me read this. It's kind of long with Joanne, but I'll highlight it here for a minute. So Joanne says she's got Canva, Active Campaign, Asana. She was really curious about speaker fees. So she now realizes that you don't need speaker fees. So that's perfect and helpful. And she said, maybe you should make this information into a mini course and teach people how to run a summit. I see you're so knowledgeable. And she also says, I do my lead magnets on my website, like Wix or WordPress. So that can really work. Yes. Wix, WordPress, those sorts of things can definitely work. Affiliates is definitely a whole nother layer, but, getting an affiliate partnership, but that does make it to just, and then you give me your take on it as well, Stephanie, because it gets people more all in, right? Because what they're doing is you're coming to me and I'm promoting it, right? Like I'm talking about my summit with you,
right?
But then also the more that I promote it, the more that I can earn money. So that's like a whole nother layer. Like you could just do a summit and just do it for interviews and visibility and authority in your business. But doing this affiliate thing, I think is a whole nother layer. So, and then also, by the way, I definitely want your take on that. And then I see that Leah, I think, has a question, so I'll address hers last. But go ahead, Stephanie, and tell me a little bit about that.
So I'm sorry, it was really long. Can you repeat the question in one?
Yeah,
affiliates.
Yeah, affiliates. How are you working with this summit? How are you doing the affiliate stuff? Like, walk us through that for a minute.
Well, I hired somebody to set up my affiliate program.
Okay.
But I hired somebody to write the copy for the affiliates to use. But basically what it is, like I said, the summit itself is free, but there are two levels of VIP upgrades. One is 47, one is 167. The way we structured it is that the affiliates get 40% commission on the sale that they make. So I've already had some people, get a few commissions. So it's really not overly complicated because you want them to promote the summit anyway. And I will say also a benefit of having affiliate links for your speakers is you can see who's promoting, because summits ride and die on all the speakers promoting. And if people don't promote, you kind of got to talk to them and maybe, let them go, because it's supposed to be a give and take.
Right. This is why you're on today, promoting.
Exactly.
but so adding that layer of putting the affiliate thing together in which they can make money and you're sharing in that together with them, it definitely ups the affiliate or the summit game, so to speak, because these speakers then know, okay, I can generate some revenue by promoting Stephanie's summit. So that's really what it is, right?
And I'll say that at least one woman who has a pretty sizable list told me that, yeah, she decided that was going to be the deciding factor for her being in my summit. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, some people have really big lists and are very busy. They want to know that they're going to make immediate money for their time because, yeah, most summits do not pay speaker fees.
And I personally don't even think about it that way, Stephanie. I just knew you and you were like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a thing too. If like getting in and being interviewed in these summits, it's a great way if you're newer to the online space to get visibility above and beyond even being able to generate some revenue from it. But it's great for visibility as well.
Exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits.
Okay, well, I think Joanne was absolutely loving us. She's giving us a lot of love on the comments here. So great. I'm so happy, Joanne. I always say if I do a live and I help one person, that made it worth doing the live. So Joanne, awesome. I'm glad you got a lot of value from this today. And then Leah had one other question, which says, I needed someone to tell me what to go live on. I sometimes get stuck on the topics, but I'll go live on anything. So I can definitely talk through that. So going live on topics, it can be, so I have a couple ways, and maybe you have some stuff too, Stephanie, because we've talked about this as well. But for me, sometimes it starts with like, what am I excited about talking about? So like, what am I excited about? Like, what am I feeling energized about, right? So it just comes from an excitement, because when you want to go on live, you want to be excited to share with people the information. Like I talked to Stephanie last week, we did a session together, and her and I together were excited to talk about the visibility in the summit today. So what are you excited about talking about? What topic are you excited about talking about? I think that's a place to start for sure. And then if I am absolutely stuck for what to talk about, and this is for people that have clients. So if you have clients, it could be going live on a question that your client is always asking you over and over and over again. So I get certain questions, same questions all day, every day. And so I can just keep a running kind of a spreadsheet or a document when I get asked questions. And then that's what I go live on. I go live answering people's questions that I get asked a lot. We could probably pick out, even just from this one live, Stephanie, 20 questions that you could go
right, exactly
on the summit. But and so that's one thing. And then another thing that I do, if I don't have that, is kind of like a trending, like what are people talking about in Facebook? So what I've noticed myself is that, and this is not to be negative at all, because I'm not negative, but I just noticed like people talk about the same things online. So there's certain like patterns and trends that I see of people that talk about all the time. And so I had this with a client this morning. She was like, well, I'm not really sure what to do my webinar on. And I said, well, she's in the travel industry. I said, well, what is everybody talking about when it comes to travel right now? Like what is a trending topic? What do you see online that people just keep talking about? Because if you go live on something that's like trending or popular, then people are just going to pick that up. Like for me right now, I keep saying things on Reels. So I should probably do a whole live on Reels and how you can do Facebook ads with Reels. That would probably be a super hot topic, right?
Right.
So super hot topic that everyone's kind of buzzing about. It could be a client question, and also what am I excited about? Those are like my three go-tos for topics for Facebook Lives. Do you have any opinions on this, Stephanie?
I mean, I pretty much echo almost all of what you said. I know I tend to prefer writing rather than speaking, especially when talking to myself. So I usually will write up 5 or 6 content points. But yeah, I mean, some of the things I've gone live recently are like 3 reasons why you should write a book, you know, just things like that. I know one of the experts in our summit was talking about you should like do a lot of like the like why stuff and not as much of the how, because I think people get overwhelmed. Plus, I mean, we want to give away value, but we don't want to give away the entire farm. So it's definitely like a dance. But yeah, definitely like common client objections. You know, obviously you don't want to state it that way, just depend on your market, but just, you know, talk about some success stories. I've actually been making playlists of video testimonials of my clients. I'll wind up doing something with that. So yeah, there's a ton of things. Or, you know, sometimes, and, you know, my main coach does this, sometimes it can be something like personal, like a cat story.
That's fun too, sharing a story. I love that example, Stephanie. It's just sharing a story, being human. People want to connect with people, even in the online space, where we're off kind of in our own world, so to speak, and we're able to connect with people online. Like, I think if they go, Stephanie, she's amazing. Like, I totally want to work with her. I want to, like, anybody who's on this listening and saying, geez, in my dream list, I want to do a book. And now they've connected with you, Stephanie. So it's just it's so magical, this online space. And it's amazing, the incredible people that we can meet. So maybe coming from a place of sharing a story, or just coming from a place of like, I just want to connect with people that are in my world. And I always approach it from that too, of like, I try not to approach it from it's more from a place of like, what do I want to share? What do I want to talk about? And that can also help the people that are in my community and in my world. So, Stephanie, we went long with this. I mean, geez, we've been talking for 15 minutes, but it's been amazing. So I super appreciate you.
Again next year.
Whenever you want, come on back. I love interviewing you. So cool. It was super fun. And again, before I jump off for today, if anyone is interested in the summit and you've been on either live or on the replay, comment summit below, and we will definitely reach out. Stephanie can reach out to you too and give you the information on the summit coming up. I will be sharing a training on there as well. And also, just so you guys know, I am going live again tomorrow. And I'm not going to talk about what I'm going about, keeping that subject separate, but just for anybody that wants to know, I'm going live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern as well. So Stephanie, again, I appreciate you. And I'm super excited for you to do your summit. I know it's going to be amazing.
Thanks. Hope to see some of you folks there.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. And we'll talk soon. Bye. Bye.